Alright, on the bench today is a Pioneer PL50. And I have wanted one of these for a long time. In my infinite wisdom, I wound up bidding on two of these on eBay. They closed out within 12 hours of each other, and I won both. So, not one of my smarter moves, that's for sure. This dust cover is not going to come off. It's kind of stuck on there. I may have to unscrew it. Oh, there it goes. All right. Dust cover's in good shape. Thrust bearings, just in case I need them. Came with this little kit here with the, and it's dirty. This whole thing needs to be cleaned. Is that a second weight, maybe? I don't know what that is. Oh yeah, extra weight? Maybe? I don't know. But then that's what this is. Oh, I see. This screws on there and then this goes on there. Okay. Some miscellaneous screws, and then these. Looks like I have the 50 megahertz motor spindle. I have cover here for the belt, some felt pads for the feet, and some extra fuses, and a whole bunch of documentations, including a booklet. I'll go through those later. Service manual. That's pretty cool. And you know, the other one has that same stuff with it. So let me show you. Well, first off, this did not come with the Pioneer PL50 head shell. So I did a search on eBay. I found one that goes to the PL41, and it fits it fine. And I'm sure this one will work okay. So I'm going to leave this one on there for now. Looks like that's loose. That's not good. I have to tighten that screw up underneath there. But let me show you what I know it's doing. Let's do a real quick function test. And let me show you what it's doing, what it's not doing. I'm not even going to put a test record on it because there's no stylus on here. It's just head shell. So turn it on. So see how it's barely moving? I can almost guarantee you that the thrust bearing is all goopified underneath there. But what I want to see, and it may not even be strong enough to test auto return. Oh, there it goes. Sweet. Alright. So, and if you've watched the PL41 or the PL30 thrust bearing replacement videos, this is probably going to be just like those. And I'm going to order new belts for both of these. It's because I don't know the status of the belts. I mean, it spins, but I'll be curious to see how this is after I replace that thrust bearing. So, oh, that's cool. That's metal. And it's dirty. This whole thing is just filthy. So let me get my turntable. Flip this over. And, well, you know, maybe, I think on the PL41 I just did it with it standing up. Now I'll get the turntable. Now this is interesting and is different from the PL41 in that this bottom is on springs. So can you see it moving? So that's different than the PL41. And it looks to me that, I mean, look how clean that bottom is. It's pretty nice. So pop these off. So this is a Pioneer PL50 number 1. I've got a number 2 coming. I won't keep them both. I'll keep one or the other, and then the other will go to the shop. So here are the springs I was telling you about. You know, magic eraser to dampen those sometimes works if it's a platter spring. I may put, I don't know, I may do that with these or not. Doesn't look like these came with any, but I'll have to check into that. Alright, so here is the bottom of the spindle. And there's oil in there, and I can't tell what else is in there, but it doesn't look like the well, it's got thrust bearings in there, so maybe this is a motor problem. I'll put the new thrust bearing in there anyway. But you can see this one is, or something is in there. So we can compare what's in here to the new one. So same thickness. Yeah, that one was pretty brittle. Kind of, not rubbery, but kind of grabby. That's not a technical term. Alright, so it looks like someone tried to oil this. There's still quite a bit of oil on there. So I'm going to leave it. Pop this on. And see what that does. Just kind of curious there. Get this out of the road. Alright, where's my platter? You know what? I am going to hit that motor with a couple of drops of 3-in-1 oil. Come on, help me out here. Gee. Alright. Now I just want to see. Oh. Plug in. Oh yeah, it's. That motor. If I put any torque on that motor, it just locks up. So it just stops. So I haven't worked on one of these motors. Let's see. It's a big one. Looks like there's a couple of spots for oil on there. Let me unplug this. See what I can see. This motor. Just want to see if this, I'm going to let this motor run for a little bit. See what her speed looks like. To me it feels like it's spinning slow, but and there's definitely not a lot of torque to the motor. Just want to see if oiling this did anything to it. I'm sure it didn't. I'm going to put on 45. There we go. Let's get this thing spinning fast. Yeah, that's fast. All right. Woo, look at that go. You know, I can't tell if that's just the belt or what. I mean, let me grab my other. I do have another belt inside for one of these. Let me grab that and see if the belt will have make any difference on that. All right, let's see what happens. Nope. So I'm just going to spin this platter and see how freely it spins. I mean, it should spin all right. Yeah, it's fine. So it's definitely a problem with the motor. So I don't think I filmed it. I was talking about replace. This was on there. Put the other one on. This one's a little bit thicker. One is the 50 and one is the 60. I assume this is the 60, but it's smaller than the 50. Anyway, it didn't do anything, so let me pull this one off. And then I'm going to have to pull the motor and see what's going on with it. That's a bummer. Hopefully it's not. I mean, the motor's spinning, there's just not a lot of torque on it, so hopefully I can just service this motor. Let's see what's going on with this. There we go. I want to film removal because I need to remember where everything goes. Or in case I can't remember where everything goes, I should say. Gosh, you got to be so careful not to strip this. Oh my lord. Yeah, longer screwdriver. Oh, goodness gracious. Man, those are in there tight. This has a washer on it, so we'll pull that one out. Well, I guess just that one wire. Alright, let me pause this while I work on getting this out. Naturally, the last screw wants to be the softest screw and start stripping. So I'm going to have to drop the motor from the top. See if I can. There's that screw. I just dropped a screw. I'm gonna have to drop the motor from the top and see if I can get some vice grips around that screw or something. So it's always like the last screw. I don't want this to go flying. It's a snow day, so I'm going to be receiving phone calls and visits to the garage. So this is trying to separate this motor so I can pull it off and look at it. Okay. Ah, goodness. So this is the lone screw that I cannot get out, and you can see where the screwdriver was starting to chew that up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get something on there to break that free or not, or if I can do it from down here. Here we go. And I did. Alright, so I should have. I didn't realize there were little tiny washers underneath some of those mounts. That's why it's so hard when you're distracted when you're working on this stuff. Gosh, I don't know. Am I gonna be able to get this motor apart? Like. Thing is, it's spinning really freely. Oh, I spoke too soon. Oh yeah, I think I can pull this top part off of there. Oh. I think someone's been in here and maybe oiled that. I don't know. Oh, that's probably what I just did. Probably the oil that I just put in there. I mean, it's really moving freely. So I have some motor cleaner at the 402 vinyl. I just don't have any home. I need to grab that and bring it home. So I'm not convinced that. I don't know. I mean, it's moving really freely. Well, that's interesting. Is that oil? Oh, that's the oil. Oh, because it's wicked. Gotcha. It's like a wick. Suck the oil up in there. Oh, that's interesting. I've never taken one of these apart before. Well, I got to find my washers. Heard them fall. Saw one. Didn't grab it. Good thing I have all this crap on my bench. Some stuff can get lost like that. Son of a bitch. Well, it's going to be boring watching me. Oh, there it is on my phone. Boring watching me find that. I'm going to pause right now and put this back together and see if that did anything. Alright, so I got it from where it was spinning at 12 RPM. That's where we started. To where right now it's at 29 RPM. The one thing I did not do is clean the platter spindle and lube it. I may have to work on the motor a little bit more. I believe that's where the problem probably lies, but this is yeah, that needs to be cleaned. So let me take this apart and oh yeah, and this has a ring. It's got a ring right there, a little snap ring. That needs to come off, so I'm going to have to work on getting that off so I can pull this out, and that's going to be a pain in the butt. So let me try to figure this out and clean this up, and we'll see where that gets us. Okay, still at 29.7. And I grabbed the belt off of my PL41, which is new, and there was really no change, so I'm going to have to do a little bit more work on this motor. I think I know where the problem is, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to pull this off again. Apply a little bit more 3-in-1 oil to a couple of spots, make sure everything's clean on here, and then we'll see if that gets us any closer. Alright, I took the motor apart again, lubed. I didn't lube one of the bearings, so I took it apart, cleaned it, lubed it, and let's see where we're at now. 33.8. And you know, my PL41 runs fast too, but that is much better than where it was before. So, but I have not cleaned off the motor spindle. There was some crud on it. I'm not going to be able to remove enough crud to speed it up, but I may take a little bit of sandpaper and sand it down a little bit and see how close we can get it. As long as I'm in the green, I don't care. And when I say the green on this app that I use to measure speed. Now I know this thing is not 100% accurate, so. And I used to have a strobe disc somewhere. I have to see if I can find it. I haven't seen it for a while. Alright, so as you can see, really nothing came off of this. So, shoot. I'm going to have to, I have a little bit of sandpaper here. What is this? I want to use that one. Alright, I got to dig out my sandpaper because I've got some Altec Lansing speakers in front of where my sandpaper is. So, let me find some sandpaper and come back. Alright, so I just worked that very little. Just a little piece of sandpaper. I mean, gosh, maybe 20 seconds on the spindle, maybe 30 seconds total. And let's see what that did. Don't want it to be slower, but if it's slower, you know, we can adjust it. And it's riding in a pretty good spot on that spindle. The belt is. So it doesn't need to be adjusted up or down. So let me work it a little bit more. And again, I'm just trying to get it close. If I can get it into the 3.5 or 33.5, 33.6 range, I'll be happy. So let's work on this a little bit more. All right, 33.6 is probably as good as I'm going to get on this. So what I want to see though is, let's see. Let me start this over. I want to see what the wow and flutter is on this. So I'm probably going to film this in a couple of different parts. Well, if there is another part. So if there are any issues with sound, I'm going to shoot another video. I do need to tighten this up, and the screw is loose underneath here, so I can feel it, and that's why the head shell is twisting. So I just need to tighten that up. So this part one will be kind of getting the turntable running. Wow and flutter 0.24%, 25%. Not the best, but and you can kind of see the how the speed is off. The 33 is starting to tilt a little bit more. So anyway, I think I'm going to put a Shure on this one. Shure, I have some old M91s, M91 EDs, I think. So I'm going to put like a period. I do have an original, is it PC50? Is that the Pioneer cartridge? Don't quote me on that. So this one was PL50. I just want to see. So my wow and flutter on this is 0.21%. On the PL41 is 0.31%. So I don't think that's too bad, considering this was running at 12. Right, it was running at 12 rotations per minute to get it to 33.6 with a wow and flutter of 0.2%. I don't think that's too bad at all. Alright, so I'm going to end it here. I'm going to just tighten this, which is nothing. It's just tightening that screw. And I'm going to move on to sound. If you don't see any more on this PL51, then that means that the sound was okay on it. And I didn't have any issues there. So I'm going to do the cosmetic cleanup, tighten this. That's like a piece of tape. Huh, interesting. So anyway, there may be a part 2, I don't know. So anyway, if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe. Oh, you know what? I just saw someone's social on here. I won't point it out, but yeah. Okay, so if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Okay, we have sound, but you'll notice the head shell is different, and it's definitely not period correct for this turntable. Now, I thought I bought this PL41 head shell off of eBay, and I'm getting some distortion, some feedback, some hum in the. It's not even really hum. It's kind of weird, but I'm getting some sound out of the right channel, so I'm gonna have to work on this head shell and see if I can figure out what's going on with it. With this head shell, works absolutely fine. I have a Shure M91 ED on here, and I just want to make sure it's, oh yeah, it's good. It's good there and good there. Sweet. So I'm going to run it with this older Pioneer head shell. I mean, it sounds perfectly fine, and I'm just going to listen to it. I'll either get the PL41 head shell figured out, or I will if I can figure out what I'm doing here. look for a PL50A head shell and just, just take my time. Again, I'm just going to listen to it, so I really don't care what it looks like. So, all right, so this has all been figured out. I've verified everything works. It sounds good. I've kind of cleaned up a little bit of the metal, the top part. I haven't done anything to the cabinet, which I'll do next, or the base, I should say. And then I'm going to polish the dust cover. So I'm going to grab some feed and wax, kind of wipe this down, clean it off a little bit first, hit it with some feed and wax, and then polish the dust cover, and come back and show you the finished product. All right, PL50A number 1 is done for now. So, show you the after. Gotta wipe some of that Novus fine polish off here. Oop, got some styrofoam. Very dry this time of year. It's winter, so. Overall, pretty pleased with this. I've been looking for one of these for a while. Worked on them before. Opted to keep the PL41 over the PL50. I am going to shoot a comparison video, though, comparing the two different models, because there are some similarities, but there are some differences as well. So if you're contemplating one or the other, I'm going to shoot something and put something out on the channel that does a head-to-head comparison on them. So, and I didn't see anything out there that does that or discusses that on YouTube. So I'll add that content to the channel. I'll probably do it here shortly. So anyway, this one's good. I'm going to go enjoy it. And then I'll work on the other one and figure out which one I want to keep, which one I want to get rid of, and release one of these back into the wild. So, as always, if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.